it's pretty rough, but again it's 25p. And I know there was a time when these, especially in its early life, when this was banned, wasn't it? Wasn't it banned? And there was a time when the prices for this and the PS2 game went mental on eBay. But oh shit, this is going to be a long. This is going to this is going to be a bloody long video. I might have to split it into two. But so yeah, and then there's the third one. This is the game. This is the one game I have got. But again, these are three. They're not just random cheap, shitty sports titles. These are sort of decent quality Xbox titles. This is obviously irrelevant because it's not a game. It's a game that I'm going to keep. But these two, sort of the 25p price meant I sort of went into automatic mode, onto autopilot, and thought they were 25p. I needed to buy them. I think the fact I did have 50p. I had 50p in my pocket. So I don't know. I was almost like trying to find two games to say that they could fit the sort of the very nice round 50p that I had in my pocket. And also in the same batch, same shop but behind the counter. There's no dilemma in these because these are all games I wanted to have anyway. Mega Drive, Sonic 3 for £1.50. There's a shitload of Mega Drive games in it's Cash Converters in Watford. Anybody knows it, I'd get down there because they had a nice selection. I took the ones I wanted, but this is really dusty. It's all complete. It's a bit tired looking, but it's been in someone's someone's loft and it's got cobwebs in the corner. These are even better. Somebody, obviously a Sega fan, donated Dino Crisis, again for £1.50. Cracks on the case, but everything else is there. It's just literally cracks on the case. And this is probably the best one, Power Stone 2 for £1.50. That does say £1.50. There you go. So those two are no-brainers, but they still have a decent selection there, like two big piles like that of Mega Drive and Dreamcast games. So if anybody knows Cash Converters in Watford, I'd get down there. So that was all one day. So that sort of boosted sort of the amount of pickups I had just in this sort of one mad, like 1 hour little stint, So, and this next, I think this was at the weekend. This was Saturday. I think this next lot, Saturday, all in one day. I had 2 really fruitful days, which I don't know. Having had a sort of barren dry session, whatever, that can get quite frustrating. Again, this one I've slightly ballsed up on a couple of places. I mentioned earlier about some credit I got from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep on the PSP. Went towards a game from CX and Final Fantasy 4, and this is £12. There was a story Brian bought when I bought this, but it's not very interesting. To do with the fact that it was a story to do with the fact that I didn't have enough cash on me, and they have a minimum car payment charge, and obviously I had CX credit, and I had to make up a tiny amount. I had to make up a tiny amount on my card, which meant I had to go and buy sort of £7 or £8 worth of stuff, which I didn't want to do, which I didn't. I ended up going and getting money, but then the game got mislaid when I came back to get it, and the guy got really stressed. But yeah, £12, which was all came from credit, CX credit, and the same day, but in Barnet, in charity shops again. Majority of this stuff is either charity shops or cash converters. So I've hardly paid anything for it, which got really jammy again. In one charity shop, I went in there, and from front of the shop, I could see they had a load of PS1 games. I went in there and picked the one I wanted, and made a few mistakes, actually, as it is. But I took them to the counter, and the woman said, "Finally, someone's taken them." So obviously they've been sitting there for a while, and they're only 99p. But first one was Resident Evil 3. Again, this is one that I've got, so I didn't really have any definite intentions for it. It was just I went on to automatic pilot to buy it, which is probably not the best, the best situation to be in. And this was another one. This is where I made the mistake. First mistake, Resident Evil 2, again for 99p. They had Resident Evil 1, and I should have bought Resident Evil 1 instead of Resident Evil 2, because I forgot I bought Resident Evil 2 last week, like an idiot. So now I've got multiple copies of Resident Evil 2, just because I went on to autopilot. So they've probably still got Resident Evil, which I should have got, like an idiot. And this one is sort of a bit more stupid. I'll get it out. It's Tomb Raider 3, again 99p. 99p, yeah, 99p. I couldn't remember whether I had Tomb Raider 2 or Tomb Raider 3. I've only got one at the time. I only had one Tomb Raider game. It was either 2 or 3. Couldn't remember which one it was. Turns out I've already got 3. But it turns out I've also got Platinum of 3, but I wasn't going to keep the Platinum of 3. That's just been sitting around waiting for me to take it to a charity shop. So now I've got 3 copies of got 3 copies of Tomb Raider 3, and no copies of Tomb Raider 2. That's probably it's probably getting a bit bad when I forget what I've got and what I haven't got, because I generally know exactly what I have got. But that's the first time the first time I've forgotten whether or not I've got a certain game. I think that's probably an indication that I've probably got too much. When I start forgetting what I've got. But so that'll have to be, I don't know. I'll probably put together the best copy out of all my various copies of Tomb Raider 3 and get myself a decent copy, and then, don't know, somehow put the rest in my eBay batch that I've always intended to buy. I avoid eBay. I don't enjoy it. It just stresses me up. It does my head in. These last two, these were definite no-brainers, because these are games I used to have not as a nip, as a youth, when I first had my PS1. So they're always, as a lot of people do, they buy back games they used to have when they originally had consoles, and that's always been one of my intentions as well. And a double case Tekken 2 with everything in it, including the demo of Autumn Christmas Releases demo. Tekken 2. I've got Tekken 3. I probably won't get Tekken 1 just because of it's not as good as 2 and 3, is it? So that was always my intention, to get that sort of double case one, and the same with the original Tomb Raider, because this, along with Star Gladiator and Destruction Derby 2, was one of the games I got with my original PlayStation. So I got those 3 with the console in a bundle when I got it from Game. I think I got it from Game. Can't remember. Oh shit. I just read the back and it says Met Instructies in Netherlands. I was thinking, have I just bought a game that's in Dutch? But no, I haven't, because it was also in English. So I thought it was a balls up, I hadn't realised, but no, it's alright. So yeah, that's Tomb Raider. And finally, on that same day, to round it off nicely, a 360 game, Wolfenstein, for £1. I remember seeing this SNES Plastic, Pete, doing a gameplay video this last year sometime, and I remember thinking, oh, it's pretty good. It's simple. I think, I like the simplicity of the idea. It's just basically shooting zombie Nazis, but shit, over half an hour already. And I've got my eBay beef to tell you about. But that's it. So from this pile here, these two piles, that pile, and that pile, it's all 2 days worth of stuff that I'd never really intended to get. It's just there's things you know, like I mentioned, the intention was never there, but there weren't things I could turn down. But anyway, even though I did get slightly confused in places, as I mentioned. But anyway, eBay beef. Purchase on eBay. Purchase on eBay. This is a duplicate. I'll get it out. Final Fantasy Origins. This is a duplicate. I bought this because it shows. I blame YouTube personally. I'll get it out actually. Yeah, hang on, wait there. Where are we at? There you are. My original copy. My original copy. You see that? Yeah, you see it on the corner. Tea stains. They look like tea stains, and also the alright, damage on one of the art cards. So, when I first got this, this is the beef I've got with YouTube to start with. When I first got this, I couldn't really give two hoots about the tea stain. I didn't even notice it, or the damage on the art card. Didn't really notice it. It's only in these last few years I've started to care about it. It's started to annoy me. And I blame YouTube. I think it's like this. Well, obviously, I've sort of. No, I think it's innate. Actually, I think it's always been in me. But for some reason, something in recent years has made me start to pick up on those sorts of minor details, which didn't concern me in the past. And I've become sort of slightly more obsessive about it. I suppose it's almost in as I've become more obsessive about buying video games, because obviously, undeniably, that I have my video game buying has increased in the last few years. But obviously, a tea-stained front cover and a ripped art card, you know, that wasn't ever going to sit well with me. I did think of trying to print off a front cover, but I knew it would never be brilliant, and I would always notice it. So the only option was to try and find maybe sort of a case only or something, or you know, if anybody ever sold on a front cover or something like that, but they never did. So I ended up, I'll put that back there because that's irrelevant for now. So I saw this, and it was $14.99 going into the last day. It'd been on a buy it now for a month, and it was going into the last day, the last few hours, and the night before I left a best of offer of $12.99, and I went out the next day, so I didn't check my emails, and when I came back I realised it'd been accepted. So I got it for $12.99, which is about half, often half. I mean, not always, but these do often go for 25 quid. So to get it for $12.99 was a bit of a bargain, but then on top it was £3 postage on top, which is standard nowadays with the postage increases. So I didn't think twice, didn't think anything of it. So that would have been just under 16 quid all round, which is pretty good for this game, because this 2003, this is the last PS1 Final Fantasy game, so it's a late release as well, and everything went really smoothly until it actually turned up. The game turned up, it's fine. It was only in a jiffy bag, padded envelope, but it got here and it was okay. It hadn't been crushed, you know, because you can tell when it's been crushed and then the hinges pop out and it jams. It hadn't been under a pile of stuff, so that was alright, and everything was in really nice nick, so I was pleased. But then I checked the postage label, and I paid $2.99 for postage. Postage label said £1.20. £1.20, so obviously there's a discrepancy of £1.49. That's 2.5 times. I've overpaid by 2.5 times. Obviously, you have to factor in the cost of the jiffy bag, so then you can get a jiffy bag in in a padded envelope in a pound shop. You can get a pack of 5 for £1, so good ones as well. So padded envelope shouldn't be too much. But then so I decided I'm going to see if I can get £1 off, get £1 back, or at least get to explain myself, because I don't mind if that had been £3. I wouldn't have, the postage had been £3. I don't really care. I just want to get what I've paid for. But obviously in this situation, £1.79 had gone somewhere, and it's not a tip. I don't buy games on eBay, and I don't intend to tip the seller. So I wanted to know where it gone from. I emailed her, and she eventually got back to me, and she was all sort of like really weaselly and apologetic, but she obviously wasn't going to give me any sort of refunds. And she said, she was from Melton Mowbray, so obviously quite rural. She said, I live quite far from the post office, so I have to pay petrol to get there. Okay, and then she said, cardinal sin, handling fee. She mentioned a handling fee. Now I was thinking, fuck off, don't insult my intelligence with your handling fee bollocks. That is so patronising, bullshit. Handling fee, what is a handling fee? I messaged her back and said, what constitutes handling that needs to be paid for? And she ignored it. She replied to my message again, but she ignored this point that I made. But obviously she's trying to find reason to skim off a bit of extra profit. I was thinking to myself, why did you accept my offer if you were going to take it anyway? Maybe that's why she accepted it, because she thought she could make it back on the postage. But I was thinking to myself also, with the petrol excuse, that is only relevant if you're going backwards and forwards to the post office with one parcel every time, and even then, you probably shouldn't be driving to the post office in a Ferrari or a Hummer. Get yourself a smart car or something. Something that doesn't use petrol. Stupid cow. So that's irrelevant. But obviously, she was never intended to give me a refund. So if anybody sells anything on eBay, don't ever try and explain to anyone who questions their postage costs that you take a handling fee, because that is just fucking patronising. And I was just so pissed me off. I didn't give her a negative because the game got to me. Oh, sorry, I was a little distraction there. The game got to me, and it was in good nick, and it is in good nick, and the price I paid was pretty cheap anyway. But still, I didn't get what I paid for, and she was skimming off the top, and she wasn't being honest. She was trying to spin me all this bullshit, so she could just skim off a bit of extra profit. But got my tits. And then I put in my feedback was big overcharge on P&P cited as fuel costs and inverted commas handling fee. ... otherwise okay. And then she said it clearly states in the listing the postage charges, and all of my other customers have been happy with it. Well, I don't know why they've been happy with it. People not reading their postage labels, because you're obviously sort of way overcharging, and if you're buying stuff on eBay, check how much the seller has spent on postage, because they all do it. It's almost accepted. I said to her in this message, I said you should probably include a breakdown of how you intend to spend your postage and packaging costs on your listing, but she ignored that as well. And also, obviously, well knowing full well that if she if you decided to put $2.99 postage and packaging, including my fuel costs to the post office and a handling fee, people would tell her to fuck right off, like I would have done if I'd known. Stupid cow. Anyway, that's it. Nice. Oh, fucking hell. 40 minutes. Sorry, apologies for my language. I've been swearing a bit in this whole episode. It's going to have to be split into two. Probably already has, if you haven't already noticed. Anyway, vids coming up soon. More XCOM vids. They are on the way. I've played on a little way. A few people have died in the meantime, so I've had to resurrect them. But you know, there's no no shame about that. It was only actually his role player of the game who died, so I had to resurrect him. All the others are still alive. And if I can get off my Harris, my lazy Harris, there'll be a PS1 collection coming soon. Because it's just taken a bit longer than I always intended. But, pardon me, disgusting. Disgusting manners. I'm going to cut it off here before I get to 45 minutes. I'm not going to upload it in one go. It's just going to be split into two. So, apologies, it's so long. I just had to get that eBay rubbish off my chest. Remember, no handling fees. Never mention handling fees, because that'll piss people off. Anyway. Anything else to say? Don't think so. Yeah, look out for more videos. The next one will probably be a pickups video. Although I don't intend it to be, but probably will be, in all honesty. So if you're sick of pickups videos, then that'll be something to look forward to. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later. And apologies for such a long drawn out video. Adios.